makes a lot of sense now. Seeing what you see from the side of RORA.
Shout out to Eman.
Possibility.
Okay, so it's JP Cho.
Yeah, JP Cho, CC in the gold.
They played with the idea at least,
Yeah.
and then they went for the CC gold. But, I'm not really that big of a fan of the combo now. Because, like, CC Cho, Yisun Shin first, I guess there's a bit of pick-off there, but
Yeah.
Kimmy and Granger will just go Purify, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that, but also I think, again, since this history has happened many times between these two, you gotta remember, Carl Teasy, for the most part, has out-jungled Demon Kite.
Facts.
Even in their grand final. So that is a big component to this, and I feel like RORA is gonna wanna have to kind of adjust from there and secure that jungle rotation, especially.
I think we're really gonna have to look at the first fight. Turtle number 1. If anyone's gonna suffer any major losses, both of these lineups are susceptible to just getting run over and snowballed quickly. It's the first day of knockouts, our last day in XO Hall. Before we move on over to Tennis Indoor Stadium, welcome to Game 1 of the epic rivalry between RORA and Team Liquid.
This one's gonna be great. It always is, and now we get to be with them for a best of 3. Hopefully we get 3 games because it's always a great time to watch these two caliber teams battle it out here in the Land of Dawn, and also taking a look at how things are going to play a part. Like I said, for Demon Kite, Baksha's great for being able to roam around, rotate around, but we also have seen a YSS just kind of get out of control if you get that lead. Nothing too crazy early on. Good poking though. Now taking a look at the emblems.
Wow.
Pretty much the typical here. We've got, Lethal Ignition for Sanji on that Farsa. I mean, right now, the poke in the mid is just kind of tough to deal with.
So Team Liquid, hopefully, a good thing they're not missing out on a lot of minion waves, and Aurora are just focusing on lowering down the health of the members of Team Liquid instead of really freezing them out.
Yep.
But JP's still here, still getting the vision, meaning that Carl Teasy is still comfortable to just go from orange top side going down to purple. He'll probably get his green camp there with the Beetle, show himself at bot, or just go back straight to through the middle of the map, find a pick off, and then go. Oh, he goes straight to mid.
Okay.
All right, he goes mid. Again, both these lineups kind of playing around level 4s, being in that position where you either play for the tech charge or play for the kick for the most part, or even when Sanji gets that feathered airstrike, a lot of your damage profile is there. So it's slow and steady, and that's kind of what we expect between these two. Turtle's going to be up here in just a bit, and they'll get the buffs they need. JP going to go for mid at least to try to get a Purify if they can.
Oh, he was very low, but he holds on to the Purify now. Mountain Chakra reveals light, but that's Edward jumping in with a Petrify, and will be caught with a Mountain Chakra of the coat. Feathered airstrike to take him down from the skies. Demon Kite still getting the retreat down on Turtle number 1 as Domeng bullies Oheb up top.
Yeah, that was a perfect rampart by Light, actually, blocking Carl. He would have been in retry range.
Yeah, that was a punish on even with the Dragon Form. It was just a little bit too late from Edward, not be able to catch who he wanted to with the Furious Dive or that Petrify. So good response. I mean, at least they get something. Objective secured. Domeng seems to be doing fine. Holding his own.
Oheb? Whoa, risky moves there, Domeng.
That's threading the yo-yo, man, right there. Like, it's not threading the needle anymore, but interesting enough. It's not too much built up for TL, but you do see, of course, you've got the Fury Hammer now on Edward, so wants to go ahead and have that little bit of extra damage. If he does get the Furious Dive or the Petrify off later on, that's respectable damage already too. Domeng's got his. You've got, what is UA going to go first? Is it going to be, we see a lot of mid laners go for, what, Glowing Wand first, but Kimmy's traditionally, do you go with Glowing Wand?
Yeah,
I mean, you already got Baksha.
Yeah.
Usually it is the Glowing Wand. We'll see if he'll still lean towards that. Maybe he'd want to go for, well, yeah, usually it's just a Glowing Wand.
Yeah, I think so. Again, both these, interesting with the compositions is once, if they just kind of duke it out, level up in the lane, or scale up in the lanes, they're fine. Whoa.
Interesting. Domeng, instead of going for the Fury Hammer into Sky Piercer, he goes straight for the Hunter Strike, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that.
Gets the last hit.
I really like that build, by the way. Because on the Granger now, you're not really going to be looking for those early kills, especially when your team is behind. So he adapted. As soon as Aurora lost out on the trade of Turtle number 1, they got it, but they gave out a kill, it was the swap into the Hunter Striker. I think maybe it was already pre-planned. He's waiting for maybe Turtle 2, 3 onwards where he'll really be active.
All right, well, he's got it. He's got a little bit of defense, too, to deal with this. Oheb's quite low, and this Turtle up. They're going to go in positioning. They know they have a bit of a health advantage anyway, so JP's giving the information. They'll just blitz the Turtle.
Yep. They'll even use a Black Dragon Form here. Onto the top side. Petrify going to be locking in. Wow, look at the tech charge as well. Oheb able to stay alive with the Vengeance, but that's going to be Edward jumping in again as Demon Kite comes around with the Shield Unity. A turret gone in the bottom lane for Oheb and JP.
Yeah, perfect juggle by Aurora.
Oh.
Clean dive onto JP and Oheb, but in the bottom, they at least balance it out in terms of the tower. So a little bit of a learning experience against SRG. Instead of just going full commit for the Turtles, they're opening up the map while also making sure Oheb has a little bit of protection. Despite him going down, at least you see the intention there.
Yeah, that's something you can always count on for TL. You know, if they are going to lose at one side of the map, they're going to take something else, and they'll continuously do that. Now, all this has pretty much even things out. You know, it's not big a lead by all means for TL, but right now the gold lane is definitely going over here to Domin Kite. Oheb's going to have to wait a little bit longer to be more useful on the CC2. And now at some point, we've seen it with the Grangers, man. You know, when it does pop up and gets picked up, when that Klon is banned through the draft, you see a whole lot of Granger, and usually the Grangers get to shine, and he's just guarded really well. He doesn't really have to worry about too much, and he can just have this pressure. I mean, look at Team Kind of Light right now, just bullying out Oheb and JP up on this top side. They want to take this tier 1 down so they can then focus elsewhere.
Yep.
This Baksha jungle for Aurora Gaming PH, one of the key picks that led to their domination of MPL Philippines Season 16 for the majority of it. So Liquid is now dealt with just clearing out minion waves, trying to open up the map, and most importantly, making sure that Carl TZ has... Oh! Domin gets picked off!
How did that happen, Sanji? Feathered Airstrike, I guess, and that's the risk of running Purify when you're up against such artillery, such accurate artillery against the Chef.
Yeah, the kick wasn't used at all either from JP, so...
It was just a Feathered Airstrike.
Yep, just a Feathered Airstrike. That amount of burst being available. This Turtle's up now. Aurora's got 2 of the 3. We'll see if they're able to get the third one. Carl Teasy's going to start it up, though. Black Dragon form.
Yep, they instantly disengage now, but Edward is going to be poked down from the skies. Demon Kite pops into Poissons now, as Sanford is able to pop into Consecration and still has the Purify. Furious not going to be used up. Tech charge! On 2 by Light! Gets 2 onto the lockup as well. JP survives with 1 HP. Demon Kite with Red Tree now, as Sanford gets away, just barely.
Wow. All right, I thought that would go a little bit better for TL, but what a tech charge from Light.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying back in before we got to the draft. I was like, man, the roamers right now are just having such a massive impact throughout M7 Swiss stage, and it's still going to be the same here at day 1 of the knockouts, man. A tech charge or a kick can really change the course of the game, but the great thing about this, there's a kick, speaking of.
Yep, with the Dragon with the curtain call now under turret. Edward going to be taken very low, taken out. Light try to save him now, barriering him away, but he can't get the last shot of the turret in.
That was way too close, Oheb.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Oh no, is he in trouble?
I think he is, dude. So much damage, and the Poissons on him.
Cross-map plays, great mirrors by these two. They really understand each other's rotations and tendencies at this point.
It's kind of like they've played against each other a couple times.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe this is like their second
Wait, are they
time.
Filipino?
You know, just look at the score and that'll tell you. Basically, the score at the time. Most of the Swiss games we've seen, man, I tell you, it's been hectic. A whole lot of fighting even early on.
Yeah.
But this one, that's kind of what we expected. Like I said with the draft, it's a little bit slower cooking process for both teams in this, but we are just seeing trading happening across the map. It's not really just full force fighting against each other until this Lord comes up in about 30 seconds that we will see that. And if you look at this, again, the lead that Doming has right now, almost 1.5 ahead. Sanford?
The barrier again. Pops in to Purify with the Consecration. That's a big resource burnt out, man. No Purify for 80 seconds.
Yeah, and not a lot of abilities used there by Aurora. No ultimates, no battle spells. Lights flickers off because he used it way earlier. So all signs are pointing towards a much more comfortable Lord take for Aurora, but Liquid still definitely within fighting range, as the lead in gold is not too high, but in terms of positioning, Aurora has the advantage.
They got a Sky Piercer now available for Dominkai. He just picked it up. Oheb got the Brute Force, so a little defensiveness needed for this fight. we'll see how they approach this too. Right now, there's just an advantage that RORA has in terms of, oh no!
No Purify, he gets taken out by Domenkite. Oheb going for the damage over on Demonkite. Now pops in the current call as well as JP goes for the Jikundo, and now Shunpu's away. Gunned down by Yue! That's starting to deal a lot of damage. Good Shunpu out, but look at the HP bars on RORA. Demonkite and Domeng have to recall.
They recall, they reset. No team able to go ahead and start this lore just yet. Sanford will be back up. Purify is still a little bit longer to be on cooldown there, but for the most part, TL didn't utilize much. I mean, they still have their battle spells. They're in good position, so it just shows how close this game is in terms of their power spike, the level that they're able to go ahead and, of course, make these compositions work. So now with everything available, expect TL to be a little more cautious with Light having that tech charge once it's up. He's got the flicker now, too, so there's the green light. They're ready to go.
Ooh.
Big setup.
No wings by wings.
Rampart
Now, Liquid,
use.
this is going to be a difficult Lord take as Carl TZ is still up top.
Wait a second. Carl's so far away. JP trying to get an angle here. Sanford has to Purify back up. Let's give it away to Dragon over on Edward. Now with the airstrike stunning him up. Edward getting away with Furious Dive defensively. Now Sanford walks up, but Demonkite is able to secure the Lord. That's Yue taken down by Sanford! A double! Big mountain shock landing onto his Domeng tries to cut away, but Light and Demonkite are caught in the crossfires of TLPH. Defensive tech charge. Demonkite caught by the Jeet Kune Do as Oheb tears him apart.
What a play. I mean, it looked like Carl TZ wasn't going to get there in time. Yeah, they lost the objective, but they end up getting a couple kills off of it. Now, they still have to clear this out. They're going to take a tier 1 down. Great escape from Light and a Rampart to boot. So it'll keep them in a good defensive position to clear these out and still get ready to march towards with the lore.
Yeah, that was their balancer, the post-objective team fight, and it's something that Team Liquid does often. I know a lot of teams in the Philippines do. If they can't get the Lord, then let's see if you can just get the kills after. That's why JP initiated onto Edward with the kick. They brought him down low, and of course the late entry by Carl TZ turned into a beautiful mountain shocker. Still, Aurora Gaming PH got to minimize their losses.
Yep.
And now this is just going to be a play for the next Lord as they restructure the map and the minions.
You guys get to cast this for like regular season?
Yes, sir.
Damn.
Hashtag blessed. I would say
Can
this,
I move?
Hey,
Yeah, a lot of
there's
people would love if you did.
There's a whole trading discussion going on.
Okay.
But
Maybe we'll get a deal in.
maybe there is a deal. You have to ask Womi and the team over there about it. He
As a-
seems to be the head negotiator.
Gotta ask Mirko PH if we can bring in Uomi ID.
As a great man once said, I got $20.
I got $20, man. Looking at this, though, it's interesting because with the way this game is going, plus, take note, this is Flying Cloud, the longest map of them. JP, is he going to be in trouble?
Good Shunpu. I don't
That
know
was
which
smooth.
one was cleaner, the Shunpu bait by Demonkite or the Jeet Kune Do cancel on Shield Unity. That was beautiful.
It looked like he ducked under the wheel
Yeah.
dashing through. That looked pretty sick.
If you could get like a, what, you know, those camera angles when they have like the replays and
Yeah.
stuff? Oh, that'd be good.
highlight
Again,
for
this
sure.
nothing is, that was like a move, right? To try to make something happen before the Lord comes up. If that doesn't happen, then they just continue to farm up, get to where they need to be. You can see there's, on both sides, there's a difference in terms of gold built up respective to the lanes. Right now, Domenkite obviously still ahead against Oheb, but Oheb, it doesn't really matter too much, right? On the CC, on the fighter, he's mainly there to get that current call off. Of course, the Yo-Yo Blitz has some pretty good damage to it, but he's also there to soak up a lot of the damage, even if you have to pop the Vengeance and tank a couple Rhapsody shots or the Death Sonatas. Divine Glaive now over here for TL. Sanji is going to be popping off a lot of damage with a Feathered Airstrike. He's always very trigger happy with that ultimate, but definitely as this Lord comes up, they will get that tier 2 down on bot, so another objective goes down. And now they'll rotate forward. If they can get a pick off or at push across the map, then they know Aurora Gaming has to respond to it.
Echoes of Echo by Liquid as the positioning of Sanji in that little shrub in the lower end. Holding that, moving back. Liquid push top, slow flow with the minion wave in the mid. See if they can still get minion wave pushes on the opposite side of the map. While JP playing way far back, looking to see if he can isolate someone. Gets the info, Domenkite. Classic Liquid right now.
Look at Carl T. He's doing the same exact thing, right? He knows, I don't have to technically be there right now. I can put pressure on the cross side of the map, make Aurora respond to it, gives the call for TL to go ahead and start up this Lord. I'm wondering if they're actually going to commit because they're still staying up there. They want to potentially just take down a tier 2 turret if they can, knowing they can take their time with this. They're going to let RORA initiate and start things up.
Sanford has popping Consecration. Good for the airstrike, turning it around right now as Demonkite and Yue are both low. Sanford got traded for the HP, but he's a Uranus. He can just regen it back.
Now, with all of the things that happened in the map, those little exchanges, Yue brought down low Liquid.
That's a turret up top, no?
Yeah, it will be.
Man, what a... Yo.
It's the macro play, man. This is what TL does.
I like this game.
All the time. Mirko, this is what we, alongside LaFell, were active for yesterday when we had all those 10,000 plus game leads.
W boring server, man.
And now this is once again just, this is the epitome of a chess match between two powerhouse teams. Look at JP swinging around the corner here. He's going to find an angle.
Black Dragon form over on Carl Teasy. Can he get the traces in time now? The Petrify will lock him down, but look at JP and Sanford doing the same thing as Edward goes for the furious dive. But again, Sanford is able to get Consecration in. OM gets the killing spree, and JP goes! The GOAT traceless is in and wins the retry! Now it's like, take it low! Carl Teasy with a walk-up. Sanji picks up the kill. Dome getting a double. Just the backliners of RORA alive. Wow!
It's a 3-for-2 trade. The Lord goes over to TL, and you have to I don't know if we'll see the replay, but man, JP did work. He went for Domenkite.
Yeah.
Got the Purify out, put pressure on Domenkite so he didn't have freeway to just go and do what he wanted.
Carl
Oh, Carl.
gets shot. That's Sonata 3 times! Good touch from Yue as well, man.
Yeah, Carl was going for the move, man, but still, they do get themselves the Lord. It's a good thing Domenkite stayed up alongside Yue. They should be able to go and clear this out, actually, and not lose too much of their base turrets at all, actually, with it. But still, it is a showcase of what Aurora Gaming has to watch out for if they get to the next Lord fight right now, because these waves are going to be cleared out. They'll maintain it. And you got to keep an eye on JP. He had an immortality earlier as well. Got to Purify out. That's one of the big things he has to do, either on Yue or Domenkite. Specifically, better if they do catch Domenkite.
It's a credit to the lineup that Aurora Gaming PH drafted. Double carries, lots of backline damage, and Liquid has to do so many things in the map just so that they can break that formation. If you go back to that Lord fight, Edward was
so
actually
good.
in a perfect spot to ruin it, but because JP and Sanford were way too deep, that means Edward barely had the help that he needed to capitalize on that Petrify.
Oh, Light was late on the tech charge by just like a millisecond.
Yeah.
It was already after the Retribution was pressed and that he dished it out. And that's the pressure of the Uranus and the Cho for you. So that was Liquid had to fire. They had to fire off on all cylinders to make that work. From macro to micro. Because Aurora Gaming with their lineup, it's so much easier to pull off if you just go for front to back.
That's the thing though. Like, when you already have a Yuzong there, you would assume, all right, that's job done. I just have to peel for the backline. But the fact that Edward just couldn't do it because Carl and Sanji were diverting the Dragon's attention, it gets so difficult. 30 stacks, though.
30 stacks for Domenkite, 750 for the Granger stacks. It's a good thing he didn't die, right, on the attempt there. So Domenkite's been doing really good at his positioning, the way he's moving around, and just kind of relying on the fact that he's got to Purify and, you know, the dash, basically. But that's one of the hard things here is, again, the work that JP has to do to potentially get a Purified down. Now, even with this is staying true to our Flying Cloud time, by the way. I think it was 19-ish minutes.
Yeah, the highest average game time of all the
time.
maps. Dude, I just gotta say, when we looked at the draft, we were like, oh, this is not gonna be a good game for the Eastern Shin and Farsa against the Dragon. The Dragon's the one struggling. Dude.
Yeah. With how well Carl Teasy and Sanji have just been handling him, the threat, and what everything that Team Liquid has done to diminish the effect of Edward Yuzong, who is now just sitting at 1-4-2.
Bro, 5,500 gold lead for the GOAT. Oh my.
He's been. That's why I said. Like, that's why I highlighted the fact that it's a YSS versus a box show, but statistically and historically, Carl Teasy has been able to just kind of out farm and out jungle. Demonkite in terms of, you know, that getting the lead, farming up well on the YSS especially. So they'll go ahead. They see that
Good
push
call.
up top from Oheb.
Oh.
Stanford taking a lot of shots.
Yeah, but UA is also taking a lot of shots there. Tech charge missing! Completely whiffing. Black Dragon from coming in as Sanford tries to jump in, pops in the consecration of the Purify now as again the Dragon to the bottom lane is struggling, has to use the Furious Dive. Sanji able to bait away now. Feathered Airstrike.
No!
Edward taken down by Carl T's Lord. Not low enough for RORA to force it out. TL have outmaneuvered Aurora Gaming. Demon Kite trying to walk in, but the Wave Dragon kicks him out now. Retreat from Carl, picks it up. JP will lose his immortality. Demon Kite there, Light gets an attack charge. Lands it on Sanford. Carl buys an immortality right now, but he is going to be left all alone. Oh, trace this away. Demon Kite gets a double. Is looking for the triple. Oheb will be shut down by Doming, and that's him with a triple.
Doman Kite with the moves all game on this Granger. They only lose Edward. He was a dragon chasing a bird, but it might have just worked out for them. They just have to clear out this lane, deal with the Lord,
JP.
Evolved One pushing in.
What a cut in the wave as well. Feathered Airstrike on the initial wave, a cut for JP, and now an Evolved Lord that they have to deal with.
Yeah, that makes it so much easier for Liquid to deal with the center of the map, but this is what we were talking about. Liquid were doing it again, but Aurora, they decided, wait, they're not completely in position. Let's rush this Lord. Yeah, we whiffed out the initial engagement, but then they held on. They still had the right tools, and Light eventually got the Rampart and the knock up back in perfectly. Aurora, this time we're ready for the counter, and that's what we were talking about. How much easier to make this lineup of Aurora work. When Liquid is not in the right time and position to do all of their crafty things in the map and during the team fights, that's what happens. They get counter-initiated, and the counter-initiation of Aurora is deadly.
Yeah, looking at this too, the replay here, Doman Kite, not only is he just doing great on his own positioning, but he's well guarded. If you look at a lot of times when Light decides to go ahead and tech charge, you know that UA is there with him. He can go ahead and use the Traction Pulse if he has to help peel, and then they can just rely on their Purifies as well. 6 stacks now on that Sky Piercer. This is why, again, he picked it up later in the game, but he's been able to just kind of maintain those stacks without dying.
And again, for you guys back at home, if you know you're going to be playing for scaling, if you know that you're going to be playing for the Granger weak side, I'd recommend RORA's build here for Doming Kite. I mean, take a look at the Hunter Strike first item. He knows exactly when the timer is going to hit for him to get Sky Piercer stacks, and that's generally going to be like Turtle 3, mid-game onwards after laning phase. Because just the Hunter Strike gives you so much more mobility, especially when you're forced on the Purify, which seems to be the case for most Grangers nowadays.
Yeah.
And if you have someone on your side packing a Sky Piercer, no need to pack another one. It's all right.
Yep.
Final it all into one person.
Purify out from Sanji, though, gets caught by it, has to use the immortality there. Sanji, can he get away from this? Curtain call coming down. Sanji will fall. JP with a way to drag it onto the backline, but Carl Teasy gets caught by the Petrify and the Furious Dive of Edward. Good traceless out of there. Sanford trying to escape. TL minimize their losses. They just lose Sanji, but Aurora have position for Evolved Lord.
They lost Sanji, they lost some battle spells, and their ultimates aren't available yet. So Aurora, they'll go ahead and have an advantage on this Lord. They'll start it up. They'll take their time with it. Light in position if he needs to. He still has a flicker. Tech charge if he wants to. So TL wants to probably delay this as much as they can, but Sanji is so far away. 20 seconds, less than half health of the Lord here.
20 seconds on Sanji. JP trying to look for the angle now. Light doing the same thing here, looking for a big tech charge. Can they do it? Demon Kai popping into Poissons. That's going to be the kick. Right now, Retreat Doming! Gets the Lord as Carl Teasy gets CC locked. JP caught in the midst of it all right now. Is able to go for the Shunpu, but Yue guns him down. Slowly but surely. Glowing Wand ticking down. Sanford still able to survive as JP finally falls. Aurora Gaming Philippines secure the Evolved Lord.
Lord marching down the mid lane. 23 minutes and counting. Carl Teasy and JP won't be back for another 40 plus. Sanford!
Still able to survive. Oheb doing the same thing. The current call now pops in with a crown as well as he buys the immortality in the back. Sanji tries to look for an angle to go for the flying right now, but it's only just Sanford in the base as the Evolved Lord crashes down on the mid base turret. That's another mini wave spawning in. TL, I don't think they can defend this. Sanji is trying to cut the waves, but there's no one in the base to save this game. Aurora Gaming Philippines secure game 1.
And they do it. They get first blood in this series, starting their revenge against TL. You can see them